Hi, my name is Mary Baker. I'm going to talk about how Child Protective Services affects the family. Child Protective Services was first established in 1877 in New York by Henry Berg. He found a little girl who was tied to a bedpost and beaten by her foster parents. So as you can tell, CPS is a very valid agency that was established for the right reasons. What I don't understand or have problems with is that CPS, from then until now, somewhere the boundaries have been blurred. After doing some research and seeing other families who are going through similar situations, it is a wonder why anybody would ever call CPS to help out a family. They have done anything but help a family. They do more harm than good, and it has been proven. The 60s have shown that children taken out of their homes are beaten, abused, raped, pregnant before the age of 18, and have mental problems or have mental inabilities, socialization problems. When CPS comes into your home, they don't have the education behind what they do. They don't have any warrants. They're not psychologists or psychiatrists. They're just regular people who go in as social workers off the street. They do classes, but within their organization. It's not anything that, it's more or less a certificate before they go into a home. They don't have a child psychology. They don't learn anything that it requires a diploma of any kind. So when they come into your home, they have the ability to, let me go back. These people, all they need to do to come into your home is a phone call. Anybody who reports to CPS, they can come into your home. If they see fit, remove the father. They can remove the children, remove the mother, whoever did the abuse, they'll remove out of the home. And then they'll tag the parent who did nothing, who sat back and watched, as they say. In many cases, children do need to be removed from the home of abuse. And what I mean by that is children with broken bones, cigarette burns, children being sexually assaulted, and it was actually proven that this happened. Those children, yes, I agree that they need to be removed from the home. But what I'm talking about is a gray area. The area where parents are not abusive. They spank their children, they leave marks by accident, and they're taken out of the home and put into a whole system of problems where they go through therapists. The children see through therapists. The mother sees a therapist. And on top of that, they see psychiatrists and psychologists. The children are evaluated to see if they have any kind of mental problems that made this terrible act occur. They're taking away rights of parents. Parents that are just trying to make their children smart, trying to keep the best interests of them, and they can't do it anymore because CPS gets a whiff of any kind of corporal punishment, and they're in your home to take your family away. And then they camouflage it, or they mask the situation as they're trying to be helpful to get you back together, when they're the ones who took you apart. The problems I have with CPS is that they don't have like I said, they don't have the education to do this. They don't realize what they're doing. They're just coming through tearing up families apart, and they don't have any real reason. If the solution to this, as through my research, is that if you find a family that you suspect child abuse, call the police department. Let them take care of it. They'll come in and they will charge the abuser, and they'll get that person taken away, put in jail, but whatever it takes, depending on how bad the criminal charges are. If you call CPS instead, they'll come in, they'll remove him from the home or her from the home, whoever did the abuse. They'll remove that person out of the home. But then, the parent who is sitting at the home, like I said, in the gray area, I'm not sure how it is at your household, but in my household, if somebody gets a spanking, there's no reason to call the police. But if it leaves marks, and CPS finds out about it, and they come into the home and find out that the other parent did nothing because it was just a spanking, that parent will be ridiculed, put into classes, filed as a neglect on a registry, which will show up on your background check, where you cannot work any job that has children, babysitting, daycare, anything like that. You can't get a job for those places, depending on how many years that you're put on the registry. It's just a shame on how much power they have. And it's also scary that I also read through my research that these agencies are government funded, which means they have to have so many families a year put through the system to be eligible to keep getting the funding. So if they have ballot abuse cases and they find out that it's not, they need more, and that's when the people in the gray area fall into this trap. To show the government that, yes, we do have a lot of people coming through with child abuse, and we do need to go ahead and get these things situated and go ahead and get our money for the next. To show the government they are a valid agency. Because without that many cases, they'll be shut down. Like I said before, CPS is a valid agency. I believe we do need them. But I believe that we need to calm them down a little bit, put a leash on them, and maybe make more red tape for them to come into your home. Because right now, a phone call is all it takes to get them into your home. No proof, no evidence. They come into your home and they're in your home. Once they call them, they'll be at your house and they'll inspect everything. They'll inspect how you live, the food your kids eat. If they're having enough fun, believe this one, if they're not having enough fun in the home, that is reason for concern. If they're not doing homework at school because they just don't feel like doing homework, that is a concern. So once they get in your home, they'll find any reason for them to stay in your home, which is also scary. My thought to resolve this problem is maybe have petitions. There are plenty of families going through similar situations, and we need to have petitions signed up for people to sign, send up to the governor of the state, and recommend that CPS still let them do what they do, but make it harder for them to get into homes. A phone call to come in and disrupt the family. One day you're fine, next day your family's torn apart. Is ridiculous. It's not valid. You can't even have the right to be a parent anymore because they're still looking over your shoulder to make sure you're doing it correctly as to what they will do it. And these people are not reasonable. They don't agree with whoopings. They don't agree with timeout. You ask them questions about, well, what do you prefer? They say, well, the class will teach you. And when you go to the class, they're teaching you what you already know anyway. So none of this stuff helps. It's almost as if these people don't have children. That's the only way I can explain it. Because when you talk to these people, they act so smart, like they have all the answers. But they know nothing. So please, in the future, if you ever feel you need to call, suspect child abuse to anybody, do not call Child Protective Services. Instead, call the police department. That's what they're here for. They will help you out, and they will take care of the problem properly. If you think CPS is going to go in and fix the problem, they do not. They remove the problem, and they attack the victims. The police department will do the opposite. They will arrest the perpetrator. Let me go ahead and recap. I explained to you why CPS is valid, what their job is, and how we need to control their power. Thank you for listening to my video. My name is Mary Baker. Please understand what I meant by CPS and help me on this one. Thanks.